Your guardian angels are here to share a curious message concerning a potential soulmate. Many people tend to underestimate the power of bonds. No matter how far apart people may drift, there will always be a part of them that never forgets. The angels say, the reason is that these bonds and relationships are at the very foundation of the universe. The cosmos utilizes the bonds you forge with others to drive you toward your purpose. In this particular case, a neighbor of yours has noticed something strange. You might not know it, but the two of you have a mutual friend. You haven't seen this person in a very long time, but they've never forgotten about you. As of the moment, your neighbor is unsure if you're the one their friend is talking about. Remember that no matter how far you grow apart, the universe tends to find a way to bring people back together. Before we continue, it's crucial to talk about 3 powerful signs at the end of this message. These signs will help open yourself up to the blessings of the universe, as they can act as powerful beacons. It's a good idea to watch the video to the end. Now, back to the topic. You and this neighbor share a mutual friend. From your perspective, however, you and this person have moved on. Is that truly the case, however? I repeat, your neighbor noticed something odd. Now they're keeping an eye on you because a good friend of theirs knows who you are. One reason why people tend to stand by the concept of fate and destiny is because of how their bonds tend to bring people back together. You'll find no shortage of stories concerning lovers or family members who were separated for one reason or another, only to reunite once again in the most unexpected of ways. While coincidences can occur, it's important to look at things from a different perspective. Those who know the whispers of the cosmos understand that there is no such thing as a true coincidence. There is a time and place for everything, and your guardian angels urge you to listen to your gut when you come across certain oddities that catch your attention. You never know, as it might be the universe trying to tell you something. Perhaps you've already moved on, and you no longer know who the old friend in this message is referring to. That's perfectly fine, as the truth will reveal itself sooner rather than later. Your neighbor noticed something strange. They realized that you might be the person their friend would constantly talk about. As of the moment, they don't quite know what to make of this information. They still have to ask you, but it might come across as strange. For now, they'll likely speak to your old friend again and ask for a recap. While you may feel as though you've moved on, especially if things didn't exactly end amicably, old feelings will eventually come surging back the moment your neighbor reveals the identity of this friend. It's understandable to be curious, but there's no need to rush things. In moments such as these, it's important that you trust in what the universe has planned. Trust in the pace of the cosmos, and you'll find yourself rewarded in the best of ways. Instead, it's a good idea to think back to all the moments you shared with old friends you no longer speak to. Try to remember their names and what they looked like. For some, it may be easy to recall such things, but for others, it might prove to be a challenge. It's a little mental exercise that can help prepare you for what's to come. Without a doubt, the identity of this person will come as a surprise, even when armed with this message. Keep in mind that this old friend could very well be a soulmate. It's likely that you were meant to experience life separately for a time before eventually finding each other again. However, just because the person is a soulmate does not necessarily mean that it's going to end up as a romantic relationship. Keep in mind that platonic relationships are also a part of the cosmic scale. Soulmates come in many different forms, and there is almost certainly more than one. That said, there is a possibility that this chance encounter could end up with a romantic relationship. It all depends on how things ended before and your feelings at the time. It also depends on what you already have going for you, as there may already be other romantic ventures. Of your upcoming opportunity, your guardian angels have this to say. There is power in a bond. People often develop bonds without thinking, and they can draw strength from these relationships. The universe builds itself using these bonds, which means you can use your connection with others to find your purpose in life. As we conclude this message from your guardian angels, it's time to start talking about the beacons of luck mentioned earlier. These signs represent what you're going through, and an understanding of what they symbolize is important. They can help lead the way during moments of uncertainty. The first sign reveals itself in the form of floating petals. Flowers are often a symbol of beauty and purity. Falling petals can also symbolize the passing of time. To have the petals float in water and eventually disperse is a reminder of impermanence. However, in this case, the floating petals are a symbol of the universe, eventually bringing everything together. While such beauty fades over time, your bonds will not. These relationships will eventually act as a pendulum, bringing you right back to where you started. Keep in mind that this isn't the only old acquaintance you will meet. There will be many more in this life, and each of them has a chance of changing your life for the better. With this, we talk about the next sign, the paper boat. The symbolism of beautiful floating petals aside, the paper boat is an interesting sign. Keep in mind that the paper boat does not necessarily have to be floating on water, but it does represent freedom and new beginnings. When your neighbor reintroduces you to your old friend, it will be a chance to start again. Last but certainly not least comes the final symbol, the lighthouse's telltale beam. The lighthouse is meant to guide boats to safety during a storm, and this is precisely what the beam symbolizes: protection in the face of uncertainty. The beam coming from the lighthouse is a reminder to follow your heart, listen attentively to your intuition, and follow it. These three signs, all having to do with water, represent the flow of time and the importance of awareness. Take in the beauty of the petals, the opportunities of the paper boat, track the direction of the beam, and move forward. I want to end with a prayer for you. Lord, may the intricate tapestry of bonds that connect us all be a source of guidance and strength for them. In moments of uncertainty, may the signs of floating petals remind them of the enduring beauty and purpose with their relationships. May the symbolism of the paper boat inspire them to embrace new beginnings and the chance to mend old connections. And may the lighthouse's beam illuminate their path, granting them the courage to follow their intuition and navigate through life's uncertainties. Amen. Your guardian angels depart with these words. The universe has grand plans for you. It can sometimes feel random, but such is the way of the cosmos. It is mostly unknowable until things finally come together. However, there will always be a pattern you can follow. Allow the three synchronicity signs to act as guides toward luck and prosperity. Type 222 to claim this message and the blessings inside for your own. Try and leave a positive comment for other viewers who might need a positivity boost in their day. The universe sees it as an act of kindness that fuels the cycle of good karma. You'll be spreading positivity and receiving the universe's blessings in return. Let's uplift each other and create waves of good energy together. The stars have another message for you today, and it's one I felt you needed to hear. In the description of this video, there is a link to a special astrological reading. It's a divine message of guidance related to your moon sign and moon phase. This sign and phase of the moon at the exact moment of your birth reveals more about you than you could possibly imagine. Together, they influence your strengths and passions, and reveal your potential for abundance, love, and prosperity. I've heard you could use some extra wisdom to help with a very important decision coming up for you soon. And I have a strong premonition that the moon is going to deliver something incredibly valuable to you. And I want to be certain that you are well prepared, because that moment is approaching very rapidly. Your soul is at a crossroads, and you need to see which critical steps to take next. So, if you're ready to take the next step, check the link in the description for your free personalized video moon reading to ensure the next step you take is leading you closer to abundance and prosperity. An important message is waiting for you in the next video. Will you hear it?